Hello guys, my name is Khan. Actually, this video is the second video of Shiny R Shiny series. So in this video, what we will do, we'll create a very basic uh, R Shiny dashboard. But before going towards creating a R Shiny dashboard, I will first tell you guys that if you enter this URL, which is the shiny.rstudio.com/gallery, here there are very good examples available that which kind of dashboards you can create through R Shiny, and I will also show you guys a bit very basic dashboards that you can create through R Shiny. Actually, because this is just the second series, so we will start from very basic kinds of things. So if I go to start simple, so there are some dashboards available. So there is a dashboard which is related to k-means analysis. It's more like a clustering analysis that they are doing, but they have created a dashboard. So suppose if I open it into a new tab, so we have this dashboard which is very basic dashboard, and it can allow us to interact with these charts by using these down arrow button. So there are different things available. The most basic thing is that how many clusters you want. Currently, based on these crosses, you can see that we have only 3 clusters, but suppose if I want 4 clusters, I can even enter 4 cluster, and now you can see that the graph got updated based on the number of clusters that I have entered. So the graphs keep on updating based on what I am entering here. Actually, this dashboard is divided into two sections. The first section is, which we call it user interface, which is this part. This is user interface, and this is the title. The IRS k-means clustering is the title of the dashboard, and this side of the dashboard is usually named as main page of the dashboard. So the right hand side is mainly named as main page or main body or dashboard body of the RStudio, whereas the left side is mostly defined as the user interface, where user can add values, and once the user will add value, the graph will got changed. So this is the something that appearing, but there is a coding behind. So, and the coding which is behind it is also divided into two parts. The first part is the user interface. So we will say UI.R, which will allow us to configure that how many options we want to give to the users, and which kind of options we want to give to the users. So suppose here we have down arrow buttons, but you also can give radio buttons. You can allow users to select a range of data through this user interface. And as I said, that the one thing will be UI.R, which will be for user interface, whereas the second thing will be server.r. So server.r will allow you that how you will manipulate data based on the options user have taken. So, and based on that, we will create an output. So if I go down to this dashboard, they also have provided the code for, so the server.r is what will do. It will get the inputs from user interface and then manipulate your data, create charts, and then output it. Whereas there is another tab, user UI.R, where the UI.R is actually creating these things that user will be able to enter or user will be able to opt. So again, I will say that our Shiny dashboard will be divided into two components, UI.R and then server.R. So, but before moving towards RStudio, I will show you guys another option which is related to word cloud. So, new tab. So this is another dashboard that some user have created, and it's also very useful. So here we have another way of options that we can allow user. So we have a scale here. So actually this is showing that what kind of words are we are getting into the data. So here it's saying that minimum frequency that should be shown here on the right hand side of the dashboard must be 15. But if I increase this frequency, the number of counts will be decreased, because then many words will be eliminated. So this is just the to show you guys that there are different kind of options you can put into user interface, and you can create different kind of plots through rshiny. And now the point is that I will go to RStudio and I will create a very kind of a blank dashboard, and then in my later videos we will keep on filling that dashboard with different things. So in this video I will just create a very kind of structure of a dashboard, and then we will, in my later videos, we will further populate that dashboard with other things, with charts and with the user interface option. So now I will go to my RStudio. So I will have to double click my RStudio. So this is my RStudio. I have to open a script so that I can start writing my code. Script. So as this is this is my script file, I have opened it into separate window. So I think before starting the script, it's always a good idea to call all the libraries that I will be using. In order to remind you guys that I have already installed a Shiny package and Shiny dashboard in my first video. So that's why I'm not telling you guys how to install them. So the first thing will be to tell R which libraries I will be using. Tell R which library I will be using. Because if you don't tell R that which libraries are you using, you will, suppose if you use a function of Shiny, but if you don't tell that you will be using from that library, you will get an error, because R will unable to recognize that which function you want to use. So the first thing will be that I will be using my library Shiny. So library Shiny. Then I will be using my second library is Shiny dashboard. So I'll be using Shiny library. So now I will start writing my script. So the first thing is that in the first part of this video, the first part of this code, I will be using the library Shiny. In my second phase of the video, I will show you guys that you can also use this library, Shiny dashboard library, to create almost the same kind of dashboard which you can create through Shiny library. So before going forward, I think it's a good idea to save your code file. So I will say Control S, and I want to save, suppose, save it into basics of rshiny. So I will name it intro to dashboard. So I've saved it. So now the first thing is that I have to when I was showing you different example over the web browser of different dashboard, in the code we have to divide our code into two segments. One segment will be the user interface, and the second segment will be where we will be doing computation, and from that computation we will be populating our charts. So I will first do the user interface. So I will be first creating an object. I will be calling it UI. You can call it whatever you want. You can even call it XY if you want. So there is no necessity you have to call it UI, because I'm calling it UI because it will be easier to identify this object, and it can be easily relate that UI means user interface. And in order to assign something to user interface, I will be using greater than and minus sign. You can even use equal sign, but in R this sign is greater than and then minus sign is mostly used, which kind of creates an arrow which shows that whatever we will write on the right hand side will be assigned to UI. And after that I will be using the shiny function, which is shiny UI, in order to define user interface. And within that function I will be opting an option fluid page. So the fluid page means that the page dimensions will be get changed according to your browser. So you don't have to be strict about the boundaries of your page. So I will be using fluid page. As you can see, even if you see that when I'm writing down the function, I have just write FLUI and it told me that these options are available, and fluid page is the option which is available between. As you can see that in the bracket there is shiny written, which means that this function is coming from the shiny library. So I will say fluid page, and after that what I will do, I will mention enter it. It will be more easy for you guys. So now within the fluid page option function, I will be saying what will be the title panel. So I will be, or the title of the panel. So I will be saying title, and then again I will be using this option. And within the title panel option, you can write down whatever you want to give the title to that dashboard. So I will be writing down my first dashboard. Sorry if there is any spelling mistakes. And after that, I will be telling R that within my dashboard, I will be using actually. I want that my dashboard have both sidebar panel and main panel. So in order to do that, first you have to start with the sidebar layout. So you will be seeing that how my layout will look like, and within my sidebar layout I will be telling R that I want both sidebar panel and main panel, because you may ended up with a dashboard in which you don't want to give any user any option, any sidebar, or you only want that only the main panel or the graphs will be shown to the user. So but I want both the sidebar panel and the main panel, so I'll be mentioning both sidebar panel. I'm not defining anything within the bracket because I want them blank. And after that I also want main panel, and I'm not defining anything because in my later videos we will pop up these options and we'll write down more functionalities within the main panel and the sidebar panel. And after that so this are user interface options get completed. So again I will tell you guys that the sidebar panel will be the panel where you will be defining your radio buttons or input values, and you will allow users to opt some values through sidebar panel. and whereas the main panel will be the point where your output will be exhibited based on the values you have opted in the sidebar panel. And in now what we have done is that we have just created an object which will contain all the user interface options in this UI. The second step will be that we will be creating a server where we will store our code, and we will operate some operations on data, and then based on that data we will be plotting graphs, and then that graph will be shown in our on our Shiny app or Shiny dashboard. So in order to do that, we will be start with you can start with the Shiny server, and within those brackets you will be writing down that okay, we will be creating a function, but we want that function to be assigned to some object. So I will be calling it server. You can name it anything you want, and then after that, because in this video I am creating a very simple dashboard, it will not contain anything, it will be blank. So I'll be just simply saying it function. So function is actually the built-in function available in R, and I will be saying just input output. In my later videos I will tell you guys how this input output work. So and then I'll be creating brackets, close, and that's all. So now as you can see, first I have created an object. First I have created an object for a user interface, and then after creating that, secondly I have created a server object, or you can say the object which will be contains all your coding related to how you want to manipulate the data based on the option user have taken in user interface, and then how you will want to plot your data or tabulate your data. So now the last thing is that you will be telling a Shiny that you want to make a dashboard based on your user interface and your server. So it's very simple. What you need to do is that you have to kind of call a function Shiny app, and then but make sure when you're writing Shiny, the function that appears here, it should be within the Shiny library. So I said a Shiny app, and after that first I will define the object that in which I have all the user interface, which is UI, and then comma the second object where I have the code where the computation will be based will be the server. But before executing till line number 4, what I will do, I will execute the code till the line number 21. So in order to do that, I will be saying Control Shift Home to select the code from line 21 till the line 1, and then Control Enter. Now if I go back to my code, you can see that R have created an object for me, and then R have also created a function which is named as server, and within UI you can see that it have done some computation behind. So I will go back, and now if I execute this thing, shiny app comma server, if I just select this line because I've already executed all of my above code, enter, you can see that R have created. So I will do it again. Actually, I got an error because I have made a typo. I need to write output. So now if I enter control all and control enter, you can see that R is computing the code. So once we have executed the code, this is the output window that R Shiny have produced. As you can see, we have one sidebar panel and we have main body panel as we have told in our user interface, and within the user interface we also told the title panel name with the my first dashboard. So but here is another option that if you want to see your dashboard in a browser, you can also click that. And once you click that, it will take to the browser, and this is this is how it will looks like into your browser. But again, in my code, what we have done is that, if you guys remember that I have keeps on telling that I will be using, for this part of the code I am using the Shiny library, but we can also construct a similar dashboard through Shiny dashboard library. So it will be depend on you that in which library you are more comfortable. So now I will go back to my code. If I close this, and if I will be using Shiny dashboard library. Actually, if you guys remember that in my line number 5, I've already called that library in the start of the code. I personally think that it's a good habit to define all the libraries in the start of your code, so that if a new user comes to your code, then he comes to know that what kind of libraries you are using. So now you can do the same thing by using the Shiny dashboard library. So I will be doing almost the same steps, but now I will be defining a new object, UI2. You can again call it whatever you want. I will be assigning my now, as I will be using Shiny dashboard library, I will not be using Shiny UI. I will be using a function named as dashboard page, because as I require to create a dashboard page. So I will click that, and within these parentheses, what I will be doing, I will be writing down that what will be the first thing that I want to define is that what will be my dashboard header. So here previously we have defined title panel. Here we will be mentioning our title within the dashboard header. So I'll be saying dashboard here, the dashboard header, and then you can see that now the dashboard header option, with that you can see within the brackets it's showing Shiny dashboard. It means that you are using those functions which are coming from Shiny dashboard library. So I will click that, and within that I will be first mentioning that that this is the title that I want. The title is equal to, so I will be mentioning my title is equal to my second dashboard. My second dashboard, and after that I will be, because I will be calling another function within this sidebar page, therefore I am using comma, and then I will be telling R that I need a sidebar within this dashboard. So that's why I'll be using dashboard sidebar option. and I will also need a dashboard body where I will be in my later videos I will be making plot I will be making plot within that body. So therefore I will be mentioning a dashboard body, and I am closing it with this bracket. And now so our user interface is ready, and now the point is that we will define our server, or the part of the code which will be handling with the input and output value. So the input values will be coming from user interface. It will compute them and will create charts, and then put those charts in the dashboard body. So in order to define that the server.r part, so we'll be creating another object server 2. So you can again call it whatever you want, and then I will be creating a function which will be handling both the input and the output. Input, again, you don't get confused that what's this input and output is. In my later videos I will go further into details about input and output. And after that I just need to curly brackets. We are not defining any functions with just blank, because it's just the start of our Shiny. In our later videos we will keeps on add more complexity in this code. And then lastly, as we have created user interface, the server.2r, so the last part is to use the Shiny app function to create a dashboard page. So but here I will just change it UI2, because now my objects are UI2 and server2. And now if I execute the code that I have just created, control enter, and now you can see the same kind of plot that we have before, the dashboard we have before. It created a similar dashboard by using Shiny dashboard library. It's a bit more colorful than the previous one, but you can see that the left hand side is our sidebar panel. The right hand side is our main body, where we'll be plotting our graphs, tables, results, whereas in the left side we will be letting the user to opt any options if we are allowing the user to opt. Again, you can open in the browser too, just like before. This is the dashboard that we have created through Shiny library, where the right dashboard is the dashboard we have created through Shiny dashboard. So this is a bit brief overview about how you can create just a structure of a dashboard through Shiny library. So in our later videos we will keep on adding the complexity within this code, and we will keep on adding graphs and different options that user can opt. So again, in the end, thank you for watching the video.